and welcome back to another episode of Bianca Bears All. Today we have got a guest, but before I get to this guest, we have Susie in the house again.
My voice went there.
And we have MC Chalkie White. First of all, was that your birth name, Chalkie White?
No, of course not.
I don't think so.
No, my real name's David, and yeah.
What made you get that name?
Right, went to boarding school, and my dad was quite a violent man, and when we was growing up, there was 6 of us in the family. There was 3 boys, 3 girls, and my dad was very violent towards me and my mum, and I grew up thinking that I wasn't his child, and it got to the point where it's so bad, my mum sent me to boarding school with my older brother, and one day the kids, I was about 8 years old, I went from 6 years old, I was about 8, and they covered me with chalk, the kids, and it's all right, it's I mean, kids are kids, isn't it? Covered me with chalk, and then I went and had a bath, come back, and I had chalk still behind my ears. And one of the teachers went, "You look a bit chalky," and that's where the chalky came from. And then the white came later, and so yeah, that's it, really.
So, do you know what? Like, that story is really sad to hear, but you kept the name. So, did you why did you keep the name? Because a lot of people just want to forget about it.
Do you know something? I don't even know why. It just stuck with me, and it just carried me through my years. It wasn't a name that I was going to use. I never thought about it being used as an artist name or anything like that. It was just a nickname, and it just stuck with me through school. And then when I left school, it just carried on.
And you made a career out of it.
And I made a career out of it.
So you turned the bad to the good, I guess,
basically,
right?
yeah. So, you know what I mean? It wasn't planned. There was no foresight to see what I was going to be years later with that name. It was just Chalkie. And I think a lot of people kind of called me it as well because of the Jim Davison stigma when he used to talk about Chalkie White as his little sidekick on the television in the 70s and 80s. So, yeah, I think it's part of that. So, yeah.
Right. Okay. So, I hear you've got a lot to talk about and you've got a story to tell.
Well, yeah, cool.
Normally I've got loads of questions, and Susie was like, because she knows you personally, she was like, you know what, he's going to have stories to tell, so don't stress.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said to you before we started this, I mean, I haven't really got anything to hide. I've been through a very crazy journey, I mean, from young, and I'm happy to tell it, because I think the most important thing about telling my story is there is going to be someone out there that will identify with it. And if there is, that's nice. You know what I mean? That someone will get something from it.
No, definitely.
You know, I am not ashamed of anything I've been through. I know I'll honestly hold my hands up and say there's things I've done that I'm upset that I didn't have better choices, but that's part of life, and it doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person that's experienced life. And sometimes if you look at your progress in life, sometimes you got to think about what kind of made you go to where you went to and what made you do what you did, and kind of like look at my childhood. So I'll start with my childhood.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you.
Right, so I was born in 1966 on the 8th of March. We originally lived in Battersea. We lived in a block of flats in Battersea. I'm the middle-ish son of 6 kids. There was 3 boys, 3 girls. And we lived in Battersea, and then I remember at the age of about 4, I think I was, 3 or 4, and my parents grabbing us all up and getting us out of the house because these white guys would be putting fire things through the letterbox to kind of burn the flat down. And they moved us from Battersea to North Pole Road, which is in West London. And kind of like, we grew up there, so my first school I ever went to was a school in Shepherd's Bush. It was called St. Stephen's. With my brothers and my sisters, we all kind of like went to similar schools, all in the same catchment area. But my dad was an alcoholic and a gambler. And he used to attack my mum a lot. He'd come home from work on a weekend and he'd like spend all his money on drink, and then he'd come in and he'd take her money off her as well, and then he'd go out and get completely blottoed, spend all his money, all her money, and then come back and blame her and start attacking her, and then for some reason he kind of like had this bee in his bonnet where he'd give me a kick and a slap, And this went on for a couple of years, and then my mum decided to send me to boarding school, which was in Hastings. So I went to boarding school with my brother Michael, and it was hard because growing up away from my other siblings, I mean, even though I was with my brother, I didn't grow up in London. I grew up in Hastings, so I didn't really understand the London life. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas the other brothers and sisters did. And then Michael left boarding school and went back to London school, and I stayed in boarding school till I was 16. And I kind of like spent my life in boarding school being a joker because there was a lot of bullying going on in school when I was at school, and in the 70s and early 80s. The 60s and 70s, and a lot of white guys be picking on me for my colour and stuff like that. But I managed to turn it round. So what I did was I kind of like made the joke myself before they. Well, not the joke. I wouldn't call it a joke. I would just say something that I knew that they couldn't say. Yeah. So I'd call myself black, whatever, and they couldn't say nothing because I already said it. Do you know what I mean? So it and I used humour to get me through school. Yeah. And I kind of like didn't really get much out of school, I'll be honest with you. I kind of like got me basic grades, but I was distracted. My first headmaster was a bit of a bully. He used to kind of like used to beat the kids up, like, and later when we found out he'd been like molesting some of the children as well at school. Thank God it wasn't ever done to me. And that was it. So I stayed at boarding school. I went from one boarding school to another boarding school, and then I left school at 16. Moved back to London. Between that time, my mum and dad had broken up. I was 11. My mum had kicked my dad out finally. She had enough. And this was like years of abuse. I mean, I'm talking about, he used to beat her like I've never seen a woman beaten like she was by she'd give it a go. She wouldn't just let him take control. If he attacked her, she would fight back. And I love my mum for that because she stood her ground, do you know what I mean? Like, and in the end, she just fucked him off, you know what I mean? And said, you know what, I've had enough, get out. She kicked him out. And life kind of started getting better. Once he'd gone, life started getting better, you know what I mean? And my mum was doing 3 jobs just to feed 6 kids. And then I left school at 16, went to under 18s disco in Fulham. Came out of there, and as we were coming out, I was like dating this girl, white girl, and these guys started calling her a nigger lover and things like that. And got into like a little scrap with them, and all finished, and all my mates disappeared, and me and the girl were waiting at the bus stop to go back to. This was in Fulham, so we was waiting at a bus stop to go back to my mum's, which was in West London. And we're standing at the bus stop, and all of a sudden, these 6 guys walked past. And as they walked past, one of them kind of banged into me. And I was like, what? And all of a sudden, I just felt this hot liquid. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, what's that? And I looked down. And I'll tell you something now, you never know. I don't know if you've ever been stabbed, hopefully you ain't. But when you get stabbed, you don't actually feel the knife go in. It's when you see the blood, then it registers. So anyway, I saw the blood, and all of a sudden I kind of like started to faint, and then they started attacking me and attacking her. And if it wasn't for this couple, and I never ever found out who they were, this couple, all I remember was this couple in a van. The guy jumped out, white guy and his partner, and they chased these guys off, and they picked us up and put us in the back of the van and took us to Charing Cross Hospital. And they saved my life. I mean, because if they hadn't have come along when they did, I don't think I'd be here. Stabbed me right in the stomach. It's like I've got a scar right here.
That's interesting as well, because they were picking on you for your colour, but it was actually a white guy that helped save you. So that must give you a little bit more of a what's the word when how did you feel about white people?
Do you know something? And this is God's honest truth. I've never ever had a problem with colour. Even after that happening, for the first year after it happening, I was a bit scared to go out because I didn't know who these guys were. So anytime I kind of like went anywhere near that area, I'd have panic attacks. So I tried my best not to go anywhere near that area.
Never got caught.
No, I never got caught. And then what happened was while I was while I was it recuperating? Is it recuperating? Whatever they call it. These guys, all these guys, these black guys and that from Shepherd's Bush, they went out looking for these guys. Went to the area, like a few pubs, smashed a few pubs up. Never found the guys and that anyway. But the weirdest thing happened because once I started coming back out, there was a handful of these black guys. They would pick on me, and they'd get me to go and rob out of shops to pay them for going to look for these guys that had stabbed me, basically. So not only did I have that from that side, I had it from my own colour skin as well. Do you know what I mean? Like being bullied and threatened and that. And this went on for a little while. I never ever told my brothers, because if I told my brothers about it, it would have been, they would have got involved, and I didn't. I just hid it, and I'd be scared to go out and things like that. And then all of a sudden, just kind of, my life became quite weird. I just didn't trust anyone. I didn't trust anyone. Do you know what I mean? And then I ended up hanging around with these bunch of guys that weren't originally wouldn't have been the guys I would have hung around with, but they accepted me for who I was. They were a bit naughty, and I just latched onto them. Do you know what I mean? As mates, and was getting into all sorts of trouble, going out committing robberies and stuff like that. I'll be honest with you, I lost my head for a bit, but I also lost my head because I wanted to be around people that I felt had my back.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though, look, in hindsight, looking back, I know they didn't. It just was another body to add to their gang to go out and cause mayhem, basically. Do you know what I mean? So I don't feel bad about it because my circumstances kind of directed me to that. Do you know what I mean? So I ended up getting myself in trouble, arrested, going to prison, coming out. Just went on for a little while. I must have been about 19. 19. I'd just come out of prison at 19. I'd been in twice during that time, from 17 to 19. Then I come out and life was all right. Do you know what I mean? I was ended up meeting this guy, Jimmy, who became my best mate. Me and him spent like most of our time together. I ended up fucking off these guys that I was getting in trouble with, even though I was still being a bit naughty, but I kind of like distanced myself away from these guys. And then I was 19 years old and went to a Wham concert with my best mate at Wembley. I didn't know who Wham was. All I remember was reading about all the girls that went to watch this band. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, bloody hell, let's go. So we got tickets to go to Wembley and to see Wham. Had a good time, come back from Wham, and then got back to my local, which is the North Pole pub in North Pole Road. And as I walked in, everyone came running up to me going to me, Chalk, you better get up to hospital. And I was, what's the matter? And they went, your brother's been stabbed. And I was like, okay. I just really it didn't register because my brother Michael was like, he was the hardest, like the kind of like stronger brother out of the three of us. Stephen was the quiet one. You know what I mean? He was like intelligent. He's just kind of like, he started off his own electronic business. He used to have like soul sound playing all over the country and that. Anyway, so I've rushed down to hospital, and as I got to hospital, there was these policemen at the door. I went to walk in, and they went, where are you going? And I went, I'm going to see my brother. Apparently my brother's been stabbed. They went, there's nothing you can do, he's dead. Like that. And I was like, what? And then all of a sudden I could hear my mum in the hospital screaming. So my brother Stephen got attacked outside his flat and stabbed in the heart 3 times. And he died. Which is really strange because that same night, my brother Stephen, my brother Michael and his mate, they'd been in the flat in White City, and this neighbour was getting picked on by some black guy. And he'd come out seeing it, and Michael went to Stephen and his mate, look, leave it, it's nothing to do with us, go back in. You know what I mean? Don't get involved, it's nothing to do with us. Michael and his mate decided to go down to the chip shop to get some food, which is literally 150 yards from the flats. They've gone to get some food and that, and my brother Stephen, he was like, he's one of these people that kind of like, he doesn't like seeing people picked on. He wasn't a hard man, but he wasn't a person that would see someone getting bullied So he's decided in his wisdom to come out the flat, literally 3 doors down from his flat, and the geezers turned around and stabbed him through the heart 3 times, and then the geezers disappeared.
Did they ever catch him?
Yeah, they caught him. They caught him about a year later. He'd done a bunk to Jamaica, but someone who knew people in Jamaica kind of like got in touch with their authorities and gave his name and that, and then they caught him, sent him back over here, and he got arrested and sent to prison. But he ended up getting sentenced to 5 years in prison for manslaughter, because he'd said that my brother attacked him, which was complete and utter rubbish. But my brother wasn't here to defend himself. There wasn't no other witnesses. Even the guy that my brother went to help, which was an old African guy, he didn't even say nothing. He didn't even make a statement. He kind of like just washed his hands of it. So that kind of set me on another path of fucking destruction and not really giving a fuck, basically. And I'm sorry about language, but yeah, just didn't care. But I was still okay. I mean, my life hadn't transpired and gone into any madness. Like I said, I was a bit naughty, you know. I mean, my first love was football and ice skating. I spent my life in the ice rinks like Streatham, Queensway, Romford, you know, Lee Valley. I used to go. Yeah, I used to be really good years ago. I can't now. I can still do it, but I'm not as good as I was. Me and my best mate Jimmy, we spent most of our life, especially in Romford. We spent a lot of our time in Romford when they built the ice rink, and that was fun. But again, going to Romford was a fucking nightmare, because every time we went to Romford, we'd get fucking abused by all the white guys in Romford, because there was a few black guys, so we'd go up there, and we'd meet the girls up there, and you know, and it started a lot of racism still flying about. You know, not so much London, but as you went into Essex, places in Essex, you found a lot of stuff going on. So we'll get up to my 20, 21, 22, 23. All my life was dedicated to skating. And then someone said to me one night, "Oh, we're going to this club in London." It was Heaven, it was. And the night was called BPM. I went to this night and I was like, wow, this is something else. I wasn't even talking about ease and drugs. I mean, I didn't drink. I didn't take drugs. I didn't smoke. Do you know what I mean? I was a bit of a nutter, but I didn't do none of the stuff that I ended up doing later on, because I kind of like, when I was growing up, I was at boarding school and they showed us a film about heroin, and it put me off heroin for life. About this little girl in Germany who got involved in taking heroin, and how her life went absolutely crazy. And so it put me off drugs for life. And I never really kind of thought I'd end up being a drug addict or ever get into drugs myself. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't till I was about 24 or 25, I think I ever got involved in anything drug-wise. And that was because of the rave scene. I got involved in the rave scene in 1987 and loved it. Went out, used to go out all the time. People used to give me pills. I wouldn't take them. I'd just get rid of them. Like, say to someone else, and they'd say to me afterwards, "What was your night like? Was you buzzing?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I was buzzing," but I hadn't even taken them because I was scared of taking them. I mean, I was even scared of taking paracetamol. Do you know what I mean? I didn't like taking anything. And then I think it was my birthday. They had a birthday party at Paradise Cafe de Paris, and someone just sipped me off a pill. I had a few drinks and dropped this pill, and that was it. I was kind of like fell in love with the ecstasy buzz, and that was it. Do you know what I mean? And kind of like my life was, I mean, I was around the rave scene, but I hadn't become an MC yet. I'd only just started going out on the scene. And it wasn't until they started doing the big, like, M25, like Sunrise, Energy, Biology and that. I'd go there and they wouldn't have no one on the microphone, like, introducing the DJs. So I was like, mate, do you know what? That's what they need. They need someone to say, because the music back then was all the same. It was all acid. Like, it's all the same, monotonous, repetitive. So I was like, do you know what? Let me go and get a microphone and see if I can get up the stage and plug it in. And so I've done it a few times at Sunrise, and they were like, "No, what are you doing?" And they'd throw me out, literally, to get security, take me off the stairs and throw me out. And this went on for about 6-7 months. And then the skeezer company went to me, "Mate, I see you trying to, we didn't call it MC back then. It was just like they called it hosting or whatever it was. We see you trying to introduce the DJs. We're doing a party. Do you want to come and do it for us? And I was like, yeah. So they said, and it wasn't wages. There was no such thing as we'll pay you this. The first thing I ever got was they said they'd give me a couple of guests, 3 guests, but tickets were 25 quid at the time. So getting 3 or 4 guests in, that was like 100 quid. So I just say, sweet. And I wasn't even thinking about wages. I was just happy to be involved. Never knew this was going to be so big that it became, because my vision was it was going to be a fad, couple of years, and then it would die out.
Make the most of it.
Make the most of it, have fun, and that's how it started. So my first ever MCing gig, I think, was either Genesis or a rave called Energy. I think that was the first ones, but I can't. My brain ain't as good as it was, but they were the first 2 that kind of approached me to do their events, and then from then it just took off, and I ended up doing like a lot of the old events, and then I got booked by this guy called Carl to do a thing called Crazy Club, which started off in Chelsea in a venue, Crazy Larry's it was called, and I started doing that, and then they moved from there to the Astoria, which is in Charing Cross Road. And I ended up becoming their main host there. And I was still doing other events. Like you had like Biology, you had Weekend World, you had all them big events. I'd do them because the scene wasn't as big as it's become now. So you had events on, but you see the same people at all these events, the big events, do you know what I mean? And then it just started slowly splitting into different clubs, because what happened was the police and the government decided that they didn't want to let people have parties outside in fields anymore because they was losing so much money. They couldn't control it. I mean, you were talking about 25,000 people, £25 a ticket. There was no VAT, no tax, nothing. So these guys was just making fortune, and the government weren't getting nothing. So they decided in their wisdom, we'll still let them go on, but we'll put them in the clubs. That way, they got control. They know that what's going to be going through the door. They know they're going to get their tax, their VAT, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so I ended up being at the Astoria with Crazy Club for a year. And then they were paying me 50 quid. That's when I got my first pay packet from Crazy Club, which was 50 quid.
How did that feel?
Felt good. Because, no, in fact, I didn't. I was doing Dreamscape. I did Dreamscape. I got my first pay packet from Dreamscape. But that was just once every so often. Whereas the Astoria became every Saturday. So I had a basic salary on every Saturday night for 50 quid. A regular income in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. And I was regular there. I was the only host there. I didn't have anyone else working there with me. So I was working with Alex P, Brandon, Fabian Groove Rider, the list goes on. I could go on and on about DJs that were playing there at the time. And then this guy used to come every Saturday night. This Israeli guy, he used to come and he'd buy bottles of champagne and he'd give them out to me and a few other people and that. And then one night he pulled me over and he said to me, I'm taking over the Astoria in a couple of weeks' time. It's called Fantasy FM, and I would like you to stay and be our host. And he said, name your fee. And I thought I'd be cheeky. I was only getting £50 at the time, and I thought I'd be cheeky. And I thought, let me just see what he says. All right. I went, 300 quid. And he went, no problem, done. And I was like, what? I didn't say to him because I didn't want him to know. He didn't know what I was getting paid from the other people. He didn't check. So he started paying me 300 quid every Saturday night. And then working with like Hype, Rap and all them people every Saturday night. But then I got arrested. I should have brought this in. I got arrested back in 89 for a load of pills. Well, not a load, 11 pills. I got arrested outside Heaven's nightclub. And they gave me bail. And in my wisdom, because I was having so much fun, I decided not to go to court. And we had a thing called Freedom to Party March in Trafalgar Square, where it was like about 30,000 people. And out of everybody in the crowd, I had to go up on the podium and say something. And the copper that nicked me was in the bloody crowd. And he spotted me up on the thingy bob. And they all come grabbed me, dragged me off the stage and that, and it was about to kick off, and I was like, no, don't worry, just let me go. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's I've been caught. Let's carry on. And they took me. I ended up getting what did I get? Ended up getting, I think it was about 18 months. I think I got in prison for 11 pills, because back then it was serious, wasn't it? Because there was so much paper stories going on about how pills were killing people. It's before Leah Betts and all that. It was way before she died. So I ended up going to prison, but I ended up doing 9 months, and I come out. As soon as I come out, they come and pick me up, and they said, right, you're coming back to work at the Astoria Saturday, and they'd use all these other MCs at the Astoria, but they wanted me back there. The minute I come out, they was like, right, you're coming back to work at Astoria. So I ended up back at Astoria. I stayed there for, I think it was about 2.5 years every Saturday night, which was really, really good. And then 91, 92, was it, or 92 Christmas, Ben decided to do 6 events over the Christmas period. So he's like, you got the 2 weeks, and he did 7 events. And he said, right, I'll pay you 300 quid each event. So he ended up paying me, I think it was, what's it, 3 sevens, what's that? That's 3 sevens. I'm not good at maths. 740, 21. So 2,100 quid, right? 2,100 quid for 7 events, and they didn't even end up going off. Only 2 happened, and the rest got cancelled because there was nobody to come out from. But he didn't ask me for the money, but he said, sweet, just keep it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but I got myself. I've missed a bit, but I will tell you when I started really going downhill. In 1989, some girl, I won't say her name, she introduced me to crack cocaine. I had no idea what it was. I knew about coke. I'd seen it on Scarface and all that. And, you know, people say about films affecting your thinking or your behaviour. And I'm not going to lie, I saw Scarface and I thought, fucking hell, mate, I'd like to be like him. I want to be like him. Look at him, mate. He's got the woman, he's good to Don, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up getting involved in coke, and this girl introduced me to crack cocaine. And I tried it. I remember coming back from somewhere in Slough, and we was all in one car coming back, about 4 of us. And she'd got this can out, and she'd put this stuff on the can, and she's like, oh, try this. I didn't know nothing about addiction, didn't know nothing about what it's going to do to me. And I tried it, I liked it, and I didn't have a problem with it at first. You know what I mean? I kind of like was maintaining my habit. Not that I knew it was habit, I just thought it was part of the scene. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so... do you know what? To be honest with you, it just makes you have this mad rush for about 30 seconds, then it's gone. And then you end up chasing it. You don't get the same feeling from it. And the joke of it is, for me, is because I'm fucking crazy anyway. I don't even know why I even got involved in it, because it completely took away that from me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a happy-go-lucky person. And the minute I started smoking crack, it just kind of made me go introverted, and I'd be scared to go out the front door. Even when I was like, I mean, I used to be, these dealers used to turn up to the Astoria and they'd like come and give me half ounce. And I knew I shouldn't do it while I was working, but I'd go up into the back room and have a quick pipe and try and come back down and MC. And all I could think was everyone was looking at me knowing I'd fucking been doing something, because it makes you paranoid, it makes you on edge. But I never stopped it. I just kept on doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Let's crack on.
Did anyone say anything to you?
No, because everyone was doing it. Most people was doing it. Most of the people of my age have either gone through it or they were selling it or whatever. Do you know what I mean? You know, most of the clubs back in the day, as you know, you could smoke in the clubs back in the day. So people used to fucking come there and they'd stand at the back. You'd have all these like ravers skinning up crack spliffs and they'll be smoking them in the clubs. But me, I was fucking animal. I'd like fucking straight on a can, do you know what I mean? Like, and I'd just do it, and it kind of ruined me. I'm not gonna lie, it fucking destroyed me. But I never give it up, because it was like I fucking needed it. But I met a girl. She had 3 daughters, and then she had my daughter Savannah, and we was together for about 3 years. And we got a bar called Harry's Bar in London, and kind of like she'd work some weekends, I'd work in there some weekends, and then when she'd be at work and I'd be at home, I'd fucking slip out the house and go and get some gear. And we lived in these flats up in near Caledonian Road. And on the top, there's this like little thing on the top, and I used to slip up there at night and smoke crack, and then come down and try and maintain a life. And I just couldn't, because it was just fucking eating me up. And then we broke up. She went back to her ex-fella. We fell out. I moved out. Of course, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was a fucking animal. Do you know what I mean? When I was on the crack, I had no respect. All I cared about was it got to the point where all I cared about was crack. I didn't care about nothing else. Didn't care about my kid, her kids, my life, my family's life. It's just all I cared about was getting money. Do you know what I mean? And I was lucky because I was still managing to work, still managing to function. But every time I got my money, it would go on that. Do you know what I mean? And all I'd be doing, I'd be living for the next weekend. Do you know what I mean? And I was lucky because Ben, the guy who was doing the story, gave me a job working for him down in Marylebone Road. He had this company doing telephone lines and all telephones. You know, like on the back of the magazines, he had all the numbers and that. So he gave me a job in his place. But me and him became good friends. And he knew I was going through a shit time and that, but he still kind of like had my back and kind of was still trying to help me to get my shit together. But, you know, I just couldn't. Anyway, so we broke up. I went to stay with these guys in Ladbroke Grove, and that's when it all went Pete Tong. Had $5,000, spent it all on crack, lost all my clothes, and decided to put myself on the street. No one's choice, my choice. I could have gone to my mum's and lived at my mum's, but I was so embarrassed and so ashamed that I just thought, you know what, I don't care anymore. So from about 94, I just started living rough and just being on the streets, smoking crack. From 94, on and off, from 94 to 2008. So I disappeared off the scene about end of 94. You know, and all I ended up doing was just robbing, going up the West End, getting punters for the brass houses, like nicking money off them, all the mad shit that goes with addiction. So that's how my life became. So from 94, I managed to get myself into rehab in 95. And
What made you?
it wasn't me who made me. It was for everybody else. I never knew how powerful addiction was. I never knew nothing about addiction. All I knew is I had a problem. I thought I could go in this place for a couple of weeks, come out, and I'd be sorted. I didn't know I didn't realise that, you know, being addicted and being in addiction, you need to work on yourself. You can't just go for a couple of weeks and that's it, fixed. But me, in my wisdom, I thought I could. And I went to this treatment centre I think it was in Bournemouth. It was the first. I fucking been to about 4 or 5 fucking treatment centres in my life since I became and owned up as an addict. But yeah, I went to one in Bournemouth. I was there for about 4 weeks. It was supposed to be, I think, about 12-week course. Ended up getting kicked out of there because I met some girl in there, and you're not allowed to have relationships with other addicts when you're in treatment. So I left there and ended up living in Bournemouth on and off for a bit. Ended up causing mayhem down there because of my drug habit. Moved to Brighton. Again, fucking made loads of fucking mistakes up there. Got in trouble. Drugs. And it just became fucking one thing after another. That's all I cared about. And I ain't gonna lie and sit here and make out that I was happy to get clean because I wasn't. I just wanted to fucking just be out there and be amongst it. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't think I was worthy of being alive and being liked. Do you know what I mean? Because of all the stuff that happened to me. And I knew that by doing drugs, it was the only way I could not deal with it. I didn't see my daughter Savannah for years. You know, massive regrets where she's concerned, you know. And I remember when we first met afterwards, all the shit, you know, she said to me, you know, she didn't care. All she cared about is me being in her life. And it broke me up because, you know, I didn't think about her. I thought about me, do you know what I mean? And then I realised that's what it's about, being present. Anyway, so for years, I've just lived in the wilderness, in and out of prison, in rehab, out of rehab, drugs, getting clean, getting back on it, getting clean, getting back on it. And it's just become a normal way of life for me, do you know what I mean? Then I got clean for a bit. And then I didn't really get clean because I wasn't doing the meetings. I was holding on by my nails, do you know what I mean? What they call it, white knuckling it, do you know what I mean? And it just never works, you know what I mean? You know, if you're going to do it, you got to do it. You got to be all in or all out. Anyway, I resurfaced in 2008 after my last prison sentence. I haven't been back to prison since, which is a bonus for me because I've been a bit of a fucking twat in between then and now. And the minute I came back, someone asked me to come and do an event, and it started again. Do you know what I mean? I was back out doing the events for a bit. I was doing all right. Wasn't drinking, wasn't taking drugs, just enjoying what I was doing. And again, just happened again. I was straight back in it, picking up, and yeah, and you know, I said I've got no regrets because being an addict doesn't make you a bad person, and if you come to the realization why you were an addict and what made you do what you did, then you can deal with it. But I just never thought I would. You know what I mean? And for years, it's been an ongoing fucking problem for me because I put one foot forward, and then I take 10 steps backwards, and it's continuous. You know, people see me and they're like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you, you're doing so well," and then all of a sudden I'll go, "Fuck it," and wreck it. Do you know what I mean? And then so this went on for years, but I was back out doing the gigs and that. Not as much as I'm doing like in the last few years, but I was slowly getting people booking me to do events. And then I met someone, had two beautiful little girls, Angel and Star. And I remember when the mother, when she was pregnant with Angel, I was fucked. Like literally, I was on crack big time. And I met her, and kind of like, you know, she put up with me. She stood by me, but I won't blame her for anything that happened. You know, she's a good woman. We just weren't. I don't think we were just compatible. Not because of her, because of me, because of my madness and my mad behaviour. My head just not. I wasn't. You know. So she ended up having my two daughters. But when she got pregnant with Angel, I swear I broke down. I know she did, but I broke down because I didn't want to have a kid because I was fucked. I didn't want to be responsible for. I couldn't even be responsible for my first child. So I was like, fucking hell, look. I've got another kid now, and I can't even got no money, got no job, I'm not really doing anything, living anywhere. But then got over it, and she got Angel was born, and then a few months later she comes, oh, I'm pregnant again with Star, and that was it. I was like, oh, fuck, what am I gonna do? And I kind of like said, right, you know what I mean, I've got to try and make changes. And I'll be honest with you, I did try, but I didn't try hard enough. I managed to get a few years sober, but I wasn't sober. I was still fucking doing bits and bobs in the drug game, not taking it, but out there doing stuff. And it was just a matter of time before I ended up back in the madness, do you know what I mean? But I'll tell you one thing, when my two girls were born, they kind of gave me the kick up the arse. Albeit I didn't do it straight away, but I've been fighting to get straight, and I've been trying to get straight, and I've tried to do the right thing, and I've managed to kind of like get it now. Do you know what I mean? Get it, and I'm like 7 months sober, which is for me, but sober completely, like not dabbling, not being around it, not being in, you know, like with the scene we live in, you know, it comes hand in hand with people. Everything, yeah, don't do anything. And a lot of my friends still party in that, and I don't get involved in it. Do you know what I mean? I don't get involved in it. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I'd done a party called House of Classics like this year. Was it this year? Yeah, this year. And this geezer's come up to me. I know him not really well, and he's come up to me and he's got his syringe in his hand. He's come up to me and he's squirted something in my mouth, and I was like, "What the fuck's that?" And he went, "It's Mandy." I went, "What the fuck?" Like, I'm fucking sober. Like, oh, I didn't know. Mate, you don't do that anyway. You don't go up to someone and just... But because they all know me as Chalkie White, the record, blah, 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 he thought it'd be a bit funny in that, do you know what I mean? But it wasn't. And then I spent the whole day panicking, thinking that I'm going to come up any minute, do you know what I mean? And I'm going to crave it again. But thankfully, I spat it. Susie said I hadn't managed to swallow it. I spat it out and I got water and I just kept spitting it out. But I was sitting there all through the day thinking, any minute now, start rushing and getting the feeling. But it never happened, so I was thankful. But I'm very careful now with what I do and what I take. You know what I mean? I always drink water or have a Coke. If I put my drink down in a club, I don't go back to it, you know.
Well, as girls, we don't do that anyway.
Yeah, of course. But that's because you don't know what people... I mean, I've got friends that are really fucking out there and they will do anything. They know that you're sober, but they would love to see you back in the shit. And they would do it just for prank's sake, not realising the seriousness of what they're doing. But yeah, so I've been very fortunate. I mean, I've got some good people around me. I'm working a lot. Do you know what I mean? You know, I'm gigging loads now.
So you've had your big tests then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, my biggest test for me was last year, not this year. Last year, I was supposed to go. I do a thing called Slip Back in Time in Ibiza every year with Slip Matt and the team and that. And I've been doing it. I think it's 4 years or 5 years. I've been doing it every year. But last year, I missed it because I lost my passport. But last year, I was at my worst drugs. I was taking it, like, you know. And I think that my higher power, whoever looks after me, made me lose my passport on purpose. Because if I'd gone to IB for last year, I would have fucked everything up, literally. Because you know what IB is like. Yeah. People are like fucking animals out there, and I know what I'm like. And if was like that then, and I'd gone over there, I wouldn't have done no work. I would have got on the gear, I would have been dropping pills, I would have been fucking drinking, running around after birds, all the shit that goes with it. So I missed last year. And then this year, I went on a mad missing. I went missing for 9 days. Don't know if you heard about that.
That was in the press, wasn't it? In
April? Yeah, April. I went missing for 9 days. I went on a mad, but it wasn't just a drug thing. It was, I wanted to kill myself. I weren't in a good headspace and I wasn't brave enough to go and chuck myself under a train or hang myself or drown or anything like that. And I thought, what way can I kill myself or end my life without feeling any pain or anything like that? And I thought, you know what, fuck it. I'll just fucking keep smoking crack and my heart will go. But at least I go the way I want to go. Not realising I've been a complete and utter dickhead, you know what I mean? But when you're in that headspace, I don't care. I didn't tell anyone, because you don't. When you want to kill yourself, a person that wants to kill won't tell someone they're going to kill themselves. They just do it. So I spent 9 days smoking crack, thinking at any minute now, my heart's going to go, and no, that's it. I won't be here no more. Fuck knows what happened, but him up there, he kept me, and then I woke up on the Monday morning, and I was like, what the fuck have you just done? Like,
are you now thankful that didn't happen?
Of course, well, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think back to that episode at 9 days, and I think that was the 9 days that completely changed my life. Completely changed my life for everything, because first and foremost, right, I missed things out. Like my mum, I lost my sister during COVID. She lost her life with cancer. And that's when I fucked up, because I was clean up to her dying. And then when she died, I kind of like fucking thought, fuck it, I'm going to fuck it. I used her death as an excuse to get on it, knowing that no one would give me a hard time because I'd lost my sister. So it was my excuse to start getting back on it. And it just became like, you know, you can't use people as an excuse. So when I went on my 9 days binge, it was my mate Jason Kay, as you know, he died and we was at his wake. And then that Saturday, it was my brother's anniversary. And my head weren't in the right space. And I was like, fucking, these beautiful people gone. They've never done anything. They didn't deserve to die. And I thought, fuck it. I've been a cunt. I've been this, I've been that, whatever. I don't deserve to be here. So I thought, what can I do? And I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to go off. I just met this guy. He didn't know me. I didn't know him. Ended up staying in his house for 9 days, sleeping on a cold floor, just smoking crack, and that was it. I've done mad shit in my life, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie, I fucking put myself at risk, you know. When I was at the West End, I was like, I didn't care. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, I had no care, no fear. Anything went. Do you know what I mean? Just to feed my habit. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but you've got the confidence now to know it's done now.
Do you know what's
You're
funny?
on the other side of it.
Do you know what's funny? We say confident. I don't really call it confidence. I just know that I haven't got another outing in me. Do you know what I mean? And it's not about my children because they're in my life, but it's about me looking after me and doing what's important for me first before I start thinking about anyone else. Because if I can't look after myself, how can I look after my children? And that 9 days taught me something that is very valuable, that no matter how fucked up your head is, talk to someone about it, because it takes more of a man to admit when they're struggling than it takes an idiot to go and do something stupid. So, and coming out of that, I didn't realise the fucking press and media shit that came with it when I came out of that 9 days bender. Do you know what I mean? I come out thinking, oh, I'll get a few people kind of giving me grief and saying, what the fuck was you doing? Like, you know, I walked out of that fucking flat and to a media storm where my fucking name was everywhere and in the papers and on the TV and shit. And I was like, what the fuck? I went missing for like nearly, from 2014 to 2004 to 2000, and fucking nobody even fucking batted an eyelid, like, do you know what I mean? I went missing for 9 days and the whole world's gone crazy, do you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, what's going on, do you know what I mean? But it's what it is, but it saved my life. It really saved my life. And since that day now, I went to Ibiza this year. I didn't touch a thing.
That's good. That's so good.
And the people I worked for, and I'll be honest with you, they didn't want me to go originally. They was not sure because they didn't want to put me at risk because they knew I'd just come off that 9 day bender in the end of April, and we was flying out in May. So it wasn't even a long time that I was sober before I flew out to Ibiza. But I managed to go there and do the 7 days, not touch a thing, do my job, and come away from there. So I knew by doing that and being able to do that and not get tempted, I knew that I was on the right path. Yeah. But I do my meetings, you know what I mean? I won't lie and say I'm fucking fully in, but I'm learning, and I know that I'm learning about my recovery. I'm learning about being honest about my recovery. I'm learning to say no to people. And my biggest problem always has been, if I get into a situation where things are really good, I go and sabotage it because I just don't. It's like people say to me when they give me a compliment, and I always bat it back. They say, why can't you take a compliment? Because I struggle with compliments because of what I went through as a child. I struggle with it because of what my dad did to me as a child, do you know what I mean? And the beatings and that, do you know what I mean? You know? All I remember is him saying, you'll never ever achieve, you'll never be anything. And it just done with, you know, some people can use it to better themselves, some people don't. I'm unfortunately one of these people that I kind of like let things sit on me. Instead of just brushing it off and fucking saying I can achieve, I go, I can't, because I've been told it from a very young age. And the more you're told it, the more you kind of end up believing it. So, but today is beautiful. Do you know what I mean?
Battled through it, and you're here now to tell the story. It's an inspirational story. You've done so well.
Through it. I'm happier. My kids are good. I mean, my two little ones, well, especially the younger one, she's definitely my child. She's just like me, bloody nightmare. She just don't listen to anything. I feel sorry for their mum. And I will say this, to both parents of my children, I love them both because they're the parents of my kids, because although I was a complete and utter cunt, and sorry about language, I have to say that, they've never ever given up on me with where the kids are concerned. Do you know what I mean? And some women, they go the other way. You know, Sharon never ever stopped me from seeing Savannah. It was my choice because I was a complete and utter raging addict, and I stayed away. Donna, same. She never stopped me from seeing the girls. I could see him any day of the week. You know what I mean? I can see him, like, I can go from here and go and see him. Well, I'm going to see him for a week tomorrow anyway, but, you know, and for me, they are, even though relationships never worked out, which is life, really, and again, it wasn't their fault, it was mainly my fault, but, you know, shit happens and you got to move on. But when you're parents, you got to forget about what you've gone through and think of what's important for your children. And they're both women that are born that way. They don't use the children as a weapon to get back at the dad. And I know a lot of my mates that are going through that at the minute, where the ex-partner won't let them see their kids and all that because they just want to try and ruin them.
Yeah, but it's actually ruining kids, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're not ruining the man, they're ruining the children. Do you know what I mean? And both my exes, they've been amazing. And again, I've fucking, not just my exes, I mean, some of the girlfriends I've fucking ruined them because I'm a drug habit and that, do you know what I mean? But I've been very lucky. 90% of the women that I've been out with in my lifetime, I'm not saying there's been fucking hundreds, but no, but I'm good friends with them all still.
Yeah.
Even the first girlfriend I went out with, Lisa, I put her through hell because she was my first girlfriend. I was using crack when I started using crack in 1989, and I put her through hell. Another girl, Justin, I went out with, I put her through hell because of my crack addiction. Do you know what I mean? And they've never ever not continued to talk to me or love me for who I am. So I've been very fortunate. Do you know what I mean? Today I'm doing lots of work. I'm gigging quite a lot.
You've got a bar, haven't you?
Got a bar called Cash Out. Well, Daddy and Nora are the main bosses. They bought, which is really nice because they didn't have to. They brought me involved. They brought me on board with them to do it, which is beautiful. Now, Danny's been in my life completely for the last, 7, 8 years, I think. We knew each other. He knew of me. He used to come to Astoria when I was performing there and all that. And he's on Centre Force quite a lot as their kind of like main host. Me and him become really good friends, and we've done a lot of stuff together. I met a guy called Daz, who I live with. He's in recovery. He's been in recovery nearly 5 years now. And when I met him, I'm not going to lie, I fucking made his life hell because I was living with him and I was fucking getting on it all the time. Yeah. And he'd drive me to events and I'd have him he'd be sitting in an after party being sober and I'd be sitting there getting on it in front of him. And I do regret that because I was putting his sobriety at risk. Even though I used to say to him, go home, and he'd be like, no, he'd want to stay. I was putting his sobriety at risk because I was being selfish, thinking it was all about me and what I wanted, and not realising it wasn't about me, it was about the bigger picture. I've got some really good people in my life, like Matt. I've got Matt, Rachel, the Slip Matt and his partner. They've been in my corner from day one. My best mate, Ian, he's a bit of a nightmare. He's the one who bloody put the fucking APB app for me with the press and all that. Oh. Because you know what I mean? But, but I normally talk to him.
What better way though to find
you? Yeah,
right?
but I didn't know. Oh, right. I had no idea that was there. That had happened. I only found out when I came out of that flat, and Dad's come and picked me up, and he said, "You've been in the news, and I was like, shut up." And he showed me on his phone, and he went, "Look, you've been on the news. I think you've been in 7 newspapers. You've been on the TV, about 3 different channels." Like, and I'm like, fuck off. And he went, I'm serious. Like, everyone's been. And then I went on social media, and it was like, I've been going out and getting people, strangers coming up to me in the street going to me, "You're the geezers that went missing." Like, and I'm like, yeah. And he goes, we don't know you, but we saw you on the news. And I'm fucking like, Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean? Like, how fucking crazy is that? Like I said, I went missing from 94 to 2008 and no one really batted an eyelid. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then I went missing for 9 days and it become like, and there's people gone missing. And no, it's not even blown up like it has, do you know what I mean? And which has been for serious reasons. I was just a fucking idiot, do you know what I mean? Living in my own little bubble. What else can I talk about and tell you about?
What would you say to your younger self?
If I say to my younger self, I say listen to my parents or my mum. Because I tell you what, my mum, she's such a beautiful woman. She's 82, but I tell you what, I look back at the things she said to me growing up and they've all come true. Like, but going to prison, doing this, doing that. She always pointed these things at me growing up and I didn't pay no attention to her. I thought I knew best. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't. She knew because she could see it. And even me being a drug addict, she knew I was a drug addict, but she never said nothing because she didn't want to.
Mm. I mean, you've been so open and lots of people know loads about you. Is there anything that we don't know?
Tell us a secret or something.
Yeah, something that people don't know about Chalkie Wire.
Secret? Do you know something? I won't sit here and say to them any secrets because I'm one of these people, I'm quite open about everything. What can I give you a secret that's juicy?
There you go.
I suppose I have, if I was to actually dig deep. I'll tell you a funny story. I was living in Brighton at the time, and I used to work for Boy George's brother. I knew Boy George anyway quite well, and I used to work for his brother, but I hadn't seen him for years. I think it's about, when was this? It's about 90. No, I think it was about 2001, 2002. I was living in Brighton. Anyway, I was a fucking right mess. I'm still using or whatever. And I was going past this club and I see a fucking poster outside. And it said, like, Boy George playing here and all that. So I fucking thought, I chanced my arm, thinking that he might know me and remember me. Not really thinking that he would remember me. Like, who the fuck am I? Do you know what I mean? Like, anyway, so I've gone to the door and these big burly bouncers are there, and I was like, oh, can you? I went to walk in and went, where are you going? And like, I looked a bit of a mess, and that. And he went, stop me, and he went, where are you going? I went, oh, I'm going to see my mate. And he went, well, who's your mate? I went, Boy George. He went, she started laughing. He went, shut up, you don't know Boy George. I went, I do. He went, no, you can't come in. I went, look, please let me come in. He went, no, you ain't coming in. So he pushed me out the door. One of his mates was a bit cocky, and he's like, come over. He went, you don't know Boy George. I went, I fucking do. I said, I'll tell you what, let's make a deal. And he was like, what? I said, right, you go downstairs and you ask Boy George if it's all right if I come in, if he knows me. And if he says, who the fuck am I? You can come up and you can belt me and throw me out. So he's like, looked at me, his eyes lit up, and he's gone, his mate, right, keep him in that door, because I looked a state and I was a bit leery in that anyway. So he's kept me in the door. As you go through the door, you got a little bit there, he can stand. He's like, right, keep him there for me a minute. And he's gone downstairs, his mate's standing there looking at me, going at me, you know, you've just put yourself in the shit. And I went, no, I ain't. He went, you have, because he's going to come back and he's going to belt you and throw you out. Anyway, about 3 minutes past, he's come running back up. He's going, Chalkie White, come in. Like the bouncer that stopped me from going in. So he's like brought me in, and he's like brought me downstairs. And George was there with his sister Siobhan, and I think his sister and his brother. But I knew the family from years back anyway. And then we started chatting, and I told him like, what I was up to, and he'd just come off it himself. He just got himself sober and that, and we was chatting. And that night I spent the night with him and his family and that, and then left in the morning. That was quite funny. And when I tell people about it, they laugh because they think that it was going to go the other way. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't realise how well he'd remembered me because I hadn't seen him. I only saw him early rave days, like early 89 days when the big ones, big events. I never really saw him afterwards. So I just thought I'd be cheeky.
You're one of these characters, though.
Yeah.
Just,
and your name as well. It's not like everyone's.
Yeah,
of course, yeah. But sometimes I don't use my name to get through life. You know, I've been very lucky that I have been able to get through life with it, but I don't use it to get through life.
Oh, yeah. No, what I mean is, like, it's not like your name's Michael or something.
No,
like,
it's a name, Chalkie,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, people, you know, when I go out, it's like, people say to me, oh, I met this geezer on a plane, he knows you. Or I met this geezer coming at us, like, he knows you. Or this girl, she knows you. And they ring me up and they get them on the phone. And they, I know you from so-and-so. Do you know something? 90% of the people, I don't fucking remember them. And it's not because I don't. It's my fucking brain is fucked anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you meet so many people every day. It's like yesterday we walked into Rain Dance and everyone's saying hello to me. And like, I don't dislike it because I wouldn't do my job if I didn't like it. But sometimes you think, where do these people know me from? Well, how do I know these people?
And I bet you had a conversation and they're like, oh, how's your family?
Yeah, and I don't know.
And then you're like, who the hell's that?
Do you know the worst thing for me is, this is what really pisses me off about people, there's certain people that ring you up when there's an event on and they never ring you up in between. They never ring you up and ask how your family are. They never, ever, all they do is they turn up on your doorstep when there's an event on. Can you get me a guest list? Can you get me a guest list? Do you know what I mean? Like, I had to drop one of my good friends out because he's a lovely guy, but he's a piss taker. And everything I'd put online, he'd try and make a joke of it. So my recovery was a joke to him, like, do you know what I mean? And he's like, oh, fucking grow a pair of balls, go out and take some fucking coke and all that. And before I'd accept it, but now I got sober and I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't need people like in my life. Do you know what I mean? And but in the past, I would have just clung on to it because it was someone paying attention to me. Do you know what I mean? I don't need that in my life today. Do you know what I mean? Like, what I need in my life is people that give a shit, people that want me to succeed, and that's the bottom line, because the world's a massive place. I've got like I say, I've got the bar, got loads of gigs coming up. I've got like Centrefold's Twisted Christmas Party coming up on the 9th. I've got Lovism on the 9th as well.
You got a birthday coming up
I've got
as well,
Mood Dance. I've got my birthday in March. Yeah, I've got my birthday party. I've got Ibiza in May. I've got Malta in August for House and Classics. I've got some big events coming up. Got Stowaway Festival. 2024 is getting mad. It's going mad. But when I first came back out, I didn't think this was going to happen, and I didn't think I'd be working as much. And also because we haven't talked about COVID, because during COVID was the worst time for me of my addiction, because I never had a job. My job was doing what I do on the mic, so I didn't have no savings, didn't have a job, right? Started dabbling, selling whatever to get through, and and it ended up like fucking $6,000 debt because of it, and then I ended up using because I lost my sister, and then I ended up doing that. Luckily, the guy, no names, he took me to one side, gave me a hug, and said, "You know what? I don't blame you. I shouldn't have given it to you because I knew your story. I knew where you'd come from. Do you know what I mean? And that was it. But it could have been another way. It could have been someone else who wasn't like that. Do you know what I mean? And they could have just come up and double tapped me in the back of the head, and that was it. Because of it. Because I know people that have gone for less. Do you know what I mean? So I'm very fortunate. But again, it's taught me a lot. That you just got to just keep your side of the street clean. Do you know what I mean? Like, you only get one life. And why are you trying to fucking end it in the way that I was trying to end it? Because I just felt that I didn't want to let no one know. Look, in life, you just think that you don't want people to see your pain. So I've always been the joker. I've always been the funny one. Do you know what I mean? Like, but when I go through the door and close the door, I'm not. I'm sad. I find it hard to sleep at night because I've got all the demons and stuff, you know what I mean? I'm trying to learn to switch off and stuff, and it's not easy, do you know what I mean? And I know deep down in time, I probably will get there, but it's really hard at the minute. But I got no complaints. Like I said, I'm still here, still driving people
telling
mad.
the story, an inspirational one at that as well. So people
it's gonna help
are relating to it.
Yeah.
It's good for them to hear. You know.
But thank you so much. I could talk to you all.
I was just going to say as well, the MCing thing.
Yeah,
we don't want to put you on the spot. But would you do?
No, I don't.
Us a little bit.
She asked me that already, and I don't.
Okay.
Do you know what's funny with me? Every time I go out, the first thing people say to me is, "Oi, can you spit some bars? Can you spit some bars?" I'm like, "Mate, no, I can't." I'm hype, man. So I don't. Now you've made me get embarrassed. Now. So if we can see my face, I'm going red.
We'll cut off.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, the MCing thing is, again, I didn't even talk about this. We've just kind of like laughed about it, but I've been so lucky because I've blagged it.
Yes, you have.
I've blagged it. Being an MC, because I'm not fucking that good.
It's your personality.
Yeah, I suppose.
Energy.
Yeah, I suppose that's what. Because I couldn't string three words
so
together.
likeable.
I'm mental. When I go to mic, it's like oggy, and I fucking okay. And then I see these other guys doing what they do, and they're like actually spitting bars and stuff and whatever. And I'm like, if I was the employer, I'd be like, but then other people say to me, it's not about what you say, it's your presence. It's like Robin Williams, he might not be the greatest singer, but his entertainment value is off the scale.
Yeah.
And that's what sells. And I need to learn to take a compliment for what it is and not bat it back. And that is what I'm trying to learn now.
Are you still going to MC on one of my tracks?
Of course, yeah. When I get
something in the pipeline for you.
Yeah, of course, 100%. I don't mind doing it if it's like all set up and that. But when people put me on the spot, it makes me get a bit nervous because I don't.
No, that's fair enough.
I don't think I'm good enough to even spit bars. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, I'm going to give you a compliment. I think you're bloody amazing. And you know what? You remind me of my dad so much.
You know what? You're the second girl that said that to me.
I want to give you a cuddle.
Someone else said that to me. The other day, said to me, she met me. She's like, you know what? She went, you look just like my dad, and you act just like my dad as well. And I was like, well, I ain't your dad. And she went, no, of course you're not my dad. Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah,
you are
that's
a
me.
one-off. You are.
I am. Yeah, I'm
You're
me,
just
innit?
so
I'm me.
lovable
But
and
no,
likeable and-
I'm lovable, but I'm also a little fucking rogue as well.
Yeah, but you're aware of that. You
Yeah.
know, you've changed and for the better. So
I'm trying to. I
you
won't
should be
sit.
proud of
Do you know what?
yourself.
I won't sit here and make out it's all great because it ain't. I'm still trying to find David. You know what I mean? And,
You are.
And that's the first time I've ever said that.
Hey,
David.
David.
First time in my life I've actually said my name in a conversation. I normally just don't. It's like when I go to meetings, I don't go in as Chalkie White. I go in as David.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people knowing me as Chalkie White. Because when people, that's another thing. In the meetings, you say my name's MC Chalkie White or whatever, the dynamics change because people don't see me as
the real you.
They see me as the artist. And they want to be around me. They want to kind of, because they're doing it because of the artist side of it. They're not doing it because I'm just like everybody else. They're putting me in a box because of what I do. So, I used to use that all the time. Go to meetings and say, I'm MC Chalkie White. And then straight away, this bird would be like, oh, is that MC Chalkie White? And I'd like end up dating her or something. Do you know what I mean? Using it for the wrong reasons. Do you know what I mean? Now, I walk in there and I'm David.
You are.
Do you know what I mean?
David, you are amazing.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.